You're listening to Life and Shyt. I'm Danielle Walker.
And I'm Tommy Walker.
Join us as we talk about our journey overcoming fears, boundaries, marriage, family, lifestyle, business, and whatever other shit you can think of.
We're individuals that came together to create one unit with one mind and one goal. What's up, girl?
What's up, baby?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Outstanding. I want to make sure all the people understand this is our first recording after your surgery.
Yes.
So if you've been paying attention, every episode that has been, I don't even know what number, right? But it's like
that's true.
It's like episode mid-30s to mid-40s. All of those were pre Danielle's surgery, which we did a podcast on pre-surgery, like we talked about how you felt, right? Now this is post-surgery.
Yes.
How you feel?
I'm actually feeling it today, to be honest, right? Like I said, that's like, I feel like I had back surgery, and it's been now like 7 weeks, and this is probably the worst I felt since then. But that's only because I had my grandbaby and I was running around and I had a good time with her. But she was a bit much. I
can totally understand.
Was a lot. So, but other than that, I'm good. I'm in good spirits because I'm active. I'm walking. I did a 4-mile hike, which I'm very proud of. At 6 weeks out, I did a bike ride. It was an electric bike though, but yeah, I did that.
And we'll talk more about that too. Actually, that's gonna be a whole other podcast as well about when you did that stuff. But hopefully you're gonna feel good because we're drinking wine today. This is Altipiano's wine. It's a vineyard, and their address is in Escondido, California. So if you're in Southern California, you could definitely visit this vineyard. Is owned and operated by Denise Clark.
Super cool lady. Super cool.
Like we got a real quick conversation with her, right?
Yeah, she blessed us.
What was your biggest takeaway from that conversation?
My biggest takeaway was that she actually just started doing self-taught, doing wine, like making wine all on her own. And then her grandfather, I believe she said, did a search through their ancestries and found out that her grandmother, I believe,
used to be a winemaker.
Yeah, I was like, that was my biggest takeaway. That was awesome because it's like it's in your blood, it's in your bones, like that's why it just kind of came natural. I love that.
1,000%. So we're drinking on a Sangiovese, which is delicious.
Sangiovese, yeah, I like
super
that.
Good.
Yeah.
And because Denise is from a farming family, she got into wine. She became a winemaker in 2012. And this particular product, like everything they do, is all hand. Everything's by hand. Wow. So from the harvest to the bottling, everything is done by hand, which is pretty dope. And so we want to start shouting out all of our wines that we drink. We're going to mix it up and really, start interacting with the vineyards and the people that's bringing wine to us. And at the same time, we're going to mix up with a little beer or something. We got to throw a little brewery in there too. But we're sometimes very excited about that. And we don't want to go too far into the wine because we got a good friend and she's dropping a new show. Oh, right. Yes. So Cassandra is dropping a new show called Fresh Glass.
Fresh Glass.
And Altipiano is going to be featured on that. So we don't want to go too far in how much Denise Clark and the team over there is doing such an outstanding job. But make sure y'all tune in to Fresh Glass coming the fall of 2022. Shout out to Cassandra. So, Mrs. Walker, post surgery. How do you even have a conversation with somebody about surgery, right? When you go into it, actually scratch all that. Let's first talk about how the phone call that you got.
I was gonna say because it's like a whole different part, right? Because exactly. I mean, it's the anxiety of knowing that you're going to have surgery and the build up to it, right? And then the week before I had my surgery, I had an MRI, just so they can see where the tumor was, make sure, because basically the MRI is like the doctor's picture, right? So the doctor is going to use that to see where exactly to go once they're inside the body.
I love how you always explain MRI because you're an MRI technologist back in the days, and it's a picture. All I do is take pictures for a living.
Yes, I make sure that the doctors
that shit sound real cool.
Like they use those pictures in surgery.
so you got this was
a week before
a second MRI too.
Yes,
right?
So yeah, because it was the third, right? Because I'd gotten the initial one, then I got another one with contrast. Like the doctor's like, "Where is this?" And then I got that one after. Like so, he's just like, just to make sure it didn't move or anything like that. Let's just check it out. So then fast forward the next Monday, and I had my surgery in Mexico. In case anyone didn't know, and I don't know if it's just this hospital or just the way it is there, but I had to check into surgery a day before my surgery. So my surgery was on the Wednesday, I believe, and they wanted me to check in on Tuesday. It felt like I don't know if you ever checked yourself into stuff or like, all right, check yourself into jail, or it's like, okay, y'all, this is my last, like.
for those that had to turn themselves in, yeah, they totally understand. I'm sure we probably got one or two that's turned themselves in.
Yeah. Like, oh man, so and then that's when we had the last meal.
yeah.
Before that. But anyway, we'll get to that. So they call, my doctor calls me, right? The neurologist, and he's like, hey, there's a trip. And so, well, let me even fast forward, because I'm an MRI technologist, right? So we, after the MRI was done, the tech allows me to look at the picture. So this time he was a little weird, right? Last time he was like, yes, look, it's there. This time he's like,
the first time he was okay, he showed you the tumor.
Yeah.
Like, look, there's a tumor. Yep. It lit up. Mm-hmm. And then the second time
he was like, it should be like here somewhere. Like it wasn't. He didn't specify. He was just like, and he was very hesitant in showing me too. So I was like, okay. So the doctor, and I was like, I don't see a tumor. I don't see anything lit up. I don't see anything, but like maybe a little slither. And that's exactly what it was. It was a little slither in there. So come to find out, there was no tumor.
That was the day before surgery.
The day before surgery, I found out there was no tumor. I still had the pain in my leg. That had not changed. I still didn't feel comfortable, but the doctor said, listen, we're ready for the surgery. You can either, like, I'm not going to force you to get surgery, because, the main reason they wanted me to get surgery was because of the tumor. Mm-hmm. He's like, but it will turn from a tumor removal to an exploratory surgery. And the way exploratory surgery is, he's just going to go in there, he's going to look around, he's going to open up the little canal where the nerves go through and release them a little bit so that they're not bent like up against the bone, which was causing the pain. But with that, he can't do too much, right? So it was crazy, because it depended on how like big the tumor was, or if it was wrapped around the veins, or the nerves or whatnot, to like how much they can do. But now there is nothing there, so there's so much going through my head at the time. It was crazy.
You cried.
And yeah, definitely.
We was in the office.
Yeah,
and you had just finished meeting with
our office manager,
and I was outside, and I came back in. And the first thing you said was, let's talk. And I was like, what's up? Mm-hmm. And he was like, there's no tumor. And I was like, well, fuck yes. And you immediately started crying. And we were trying to figure out. And then the doctor asked her, he was like, what did you do? Mm-hmm. He was like, what medicine did you take? What happened?
Yeah, he's like, how did you get rid of it? And I'm like, shoot, we just, Tommy played, again, like healing music every night. Like healing hands on me. I did self-healing on myself daily. Mm-hmm. So I just think we really worked together and made it disappear. So there was like a little membrane there. So something was there. And the nerve was pressed. So something was pressing the nerve. It's not there, so they think it was either an infection or a cyst.
A cyst or something like that. Yeah.
They took the little membrane that was there, and it's cancer-free, so good. I'm really good.
I got to be honest, it was probably one of the scariest moments I've had in my life. As a spouse, and just going through the journey, like so if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, we have pictures of the entire journey, right? So if you've seen, or even if you listen to the first podcast where we talked about, when Daniel first got diagnosed, it was, and the doctor said, multiple doctors said, there's a tumor in your back.
Yeah.
And that was because we went down to Tijuana to the ER. We had pictures of that. Now we're looking at, pictures of us checking in, right? So, so like you said, we had to check in a day early.
Yeah.
So instead of us going straight to the hospital, You know? We went straight to lunch.
A good lunch.
Yeah, it was like, all right, you know, you're not going to be able to drink for a long time. You're not going to be able to eat seafood for a long time. So we went to one of our favorite restaurants in Puerto Nuevo, and Danielle orders these crab claws, the stone crab claws.
Oh my gosh, they are so good.
Yeah, they're off the chain. And I had my usual my lobster, and we're you know, in a true you know, Rosarito Puerto Nuevo style. We got beans and rice with tortillas
and a picture of margaritas. Now listen, y'all. When I checked my little crazy ass into the hospital, I now see why I had high blood pressure. That's a whole ass bucket of butter right there. Yeah. And then the alcohol. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, no wonder.
So a part of the scare when we was in the hospital, blood pressure was off the Richter.
They were like checking it over and over and over and over again.
And I'm beating her up. I'm like, yo, like you have a terrible fucking diet. Like you eat salt all the time. And look at this picture. She got a bowl of garlic butter on top of what's already marinated in butter.
Yeah, it's literally marinated in garlic butter.
Yeah,
and then you put a little bit more on top of it. That is the jam.
So this was a great moment though. This like we had an opportunity to hang out, we chill, just kind of make sure that you were level headed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it was like all right. Because we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Like it's surgery
in Mexico,
in Tijuana, and we're like, you know, who knows what's gonna happen? You know, when it comes to surgery. Like, sure, right. I've had multiple surgeries, and I never have a feeling like this. Because like when you go under, for me, I had sports injuries, and then I had a military injury. It was like I'm gonna take care of myself. It's cool. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to worry about. But this, I was like, this is my wife. She's going for back surgery in Mexico, and we're going to do it in Mexico. Like, fuck it, let's just go have some margaritas, have a good time, and just think about that, right?
Yep.
And then, so we left here and then went to the hospital.
Yes, and that was a trip. And
so you were buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, I was buzzing a little bit. We was both buzzing a little bit. Like, okay, go ahead. And then I thought about it as soon as we got there. They're like, okay, we're going to start our IV. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Like, I hope I'm not dehydrated. Like, we totally didn't think about it. It's like, you're going to surgery. You're not going to jail.
No, yeah, it's called pre-op for a reason.
Yeah,
they want to make sure. That's why they made you come a day early, because they didn't want you to show up to surgery that way with all that salt in your blood,
and all that liquor flowing.
Yeah, so we had to detox for a minute.
Yeah, it's like at least a day.
And this is like legit. This is the ER. So I'm in the ER. I got my books. I got my alkaline water. I'm ready to rock and roll. Like, and this was a camp. Like we camped out. So so I was there. The entire, I think we spent 6 days in the hospital. Yep. So for 6 days, we was in the hospital, and it was quite the experience.
It really was.
I've never had anything like this, and this is Danielle, like literally right after surgery.
Yep. As soon as I got out, I was so giggly.
Yeah, she was rolling away. They was rolling you back into the room.
They have such good blankets.
Now you had a neurosurgeon, 2 neurosurgeons. Doing the surgery. Yep. And then when you went into the surgery room, what was that like? Because the anesthesiologist was pretty cool, right?
Anesthesiologist was amazing, yeah. She came up to me and she's like, I don't really speak English very much, but I want to practice and talk to you. I'm like, well, it's true. That sounds pretty smooth. She sounds so smooth. Her voice instantly like kind of put me at ease. I was like, I like you. That's dope. She's like, I'm going to take real good care of you, okay? I was like, all right. Then she's like, you're going to go, what did she say? You're going to go up to the room. She's like, no, that's not what you guys say in English. What do you say? You're going to go into the room. I was like, dang, like she's good. Like she really put me at ease. And then we just kind of waited. The only thing is like everyone's talking in Spanish and it's like laughing and things. And I love that kind of like banter. I love to be a part of it, and see what they're doing and talking. But they're speaking in Spanish, so I didn't know what they were saying. And plus I'm nosy, so it's like.
You had no idea. You had no idea what they were talking about. But was you nervous?
They put me at ease, but I was nervous because when they came and got me, I didn't know that I was going straight to the surgery room. I thought that I was going to see you first, and I hadn't given you a kiss or anything like that. So like literally, like even now, that gives me like that I had that weird feeling like, where's my husband? Where's my husband? And then when the doctor came, I was like, get my husband. And he's like, oh, okay. So they were waiting for the doctor to come, and the doctor was going to go get you and bring you to me so we could say our, goodbyes. But you was already gone.
Yeah. So that was like an hour later. So
yeah.
So an hour later, I was like, all right, I waited an hour, make sure everything was all good. And nobody came out, nobody said anything. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and take a shower. Because I was a day and a half in, no shower, nothing like that. Teeth was all, nasty. So I beelined it. I was like, all right, I'm out. And then I got a phone call, and then the doctor was like, yeah, I need you to come back. I was like, oh, shit. Like, are you serious? He's like, come back right now. So I was nervous. I was like, all right. I busted a U-turn.
Oh, shit.
I'm still in Mexico. And I immediately hauling ass back to the hospital.
Because you didn't know what the hell could have happened.
He was like, I need you to come back right now.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like that.
So I'm like, yo. I literally run up, and this is a big hospital. It's different corridors. They going like, oh, you got to take this elevator, go over here. That. I'm like, yo, I need to go to the OR, floor number 8, 5. You got to go this way.
The way we got there. Yeah.
I ring the bell. The lady comes out. She's like, oh, just wait a minute. I go sit on the bench and come out. Dude was like, oh, she just wanted to make sure that you was here. Come back in 4 hours. It's like, are you serious?
Said that on the phone.
Yeah. I'm like, man. And then I left to go take a shower. And this is you when they had to take you off the bed and put you back into the room.
Yes, they got compression socks on me and those little things that squeeze the life out of your feet.
So one thing about MediXL, like this particular hospital, the customer service, like no matter who cares about like the language barrier? Yeah. They still treated you with so much respect, so much care, so much everything. They really cared about your comfort. We was told this was the best time to have a surgery because the wintertime is really cold and the summertime is really hot. Right?
The room was nice and good and comfortable.
But they really cared about everything. Like they really was like, all right, are you in pain?
Yeah.
Like so, you didn't have to think about
yes, velour. So one thing that was really cool is they started to print out, or they would use the translator, right? So they would either print out I'm going to take it, or they print out, I'm going to take your vitals, or this is pain, this is for your pain, or what level is your pain? And then they would just bring that paper every time, and it's like, okay, my level is a 4, my level is a, so that was pretty cool.
That's dope.
And then the Google Translate, that was really cool. So then I would talk into it and then play it back to them. They'd be like, okay, so it's like now we're communicating. So that was pretty dope. And they really, really cared. The food was amazing.
No, I wouldn't say amazing because you ain't eat none of it. I was sitting there like, I'll
ate some of it, but I mean, it wasn't disgusting. It was really the first night they served me fish and pasta.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty good fish.
That was it right there.
Yeah. It was actually pretty good.
Well, like a
guava juice.
Guava juice, but then it was like pineapples on the fish.
Yep. No, I was like, I never had anything like this. I wouldn't order it, but it was pretty good actually.
And of course, when you're in the hospital, there's not enough food for me, so I had to leave the hospital to go get my food.
And then you try to bring it upstairs, and they're like, no,
and I couldn't bring my food brother. Back up. Yeah, so I tried to come back up with some Buffalo Wild Wings, and they was like, nope. But that's and I sat in this chair. Like Danielle would say, so Danielle is cool. She was like, oh. Now, this is after back surgery. She's like, oh, you want to sit in the bed, sleep in the bed with me? I'm like, hell no. Like, we're two big-ass human beings. I'm going to sleep on this chair and be uncomfortable.
We slept together in that bed that first night,
night. That was it, yeah.
Because he was like, I'm going to get a little nookie before you go to surgery.
What the fuck is nookie? That's some 1962.
I wanted to be PG in the podcast. He wanted to get some in the hospel bed. Who does that? Does anybody else? Has anybody else ever had sex in the hospital? That's like when
it was pre-op, and I knew I wasn't having sex for a long time. So yes, I did ask for a little nookie. That sounds like some 1972 Isaac Hayes. I did not say it like that. I am not that cool. I'm a little more modern. And I was just like, yo, I'm ready to get down.
Shit, that's hilarious.
But enough of that. That's
what we're talking about.
And that's what that's where the cut, the insertion is, right? Or incision. The incision.
Sorry, we got a little hot in here.
It's mad hot.
Yes, that is where the incision was, and that's when that they would change those bandages out daily. It wasn't that was. I mean, I know it was back surgery, and I'll probably I'll slowly see the effects. But my pain level was legit at a nice 5, but it got better. I mean, it didn't go. When I first went to the hospital, I was at a 10, and then I slowly worked down to like an 8, and then I was living at a 5. And then after the surgery, it was a 4. And then by the time I got home, it was a 3. So I was right back to work.
Immediately. This is literally the day after surgery. Like the day after surgery, the doctor was like, you can't do a lot. Chill out.
Can I sit up? Yes.
Yeah. And you was like, yo, I feel good. Let me pop open the laptop? I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it felt good because I set myself up for the surgery, so I was way ahead. So it was like, well, shit, now I could really get in on it, So people were like, oh, damn, it's like right back from surgery.
Now, and when we talk about back surgery, like there's a lot of different types of back surgery, right? Some people have fusion, which is pretty extreme.
Yeah, the fusion is basically when they're putting some metal or something inside of your back, right? So that it doesn't collapse down, so the vertebrae don't fall down, which is what I have to be careful of, right? I can't gain weight. I can't lift a ton of weight. If I do, then now I'm dealing with 80% of my back, right? Because they removed 20%. I was thinking just the other day, like, damn, why didn't he just remove 10%? I think I would have felt better with 90% of my back. I'd have been like, I still got 90% of my back. I'm good,
Use that fucked up. They needed to remove 20. And the way he explained it, he said he had to remove the portion of that spine, where the nerves were, and kind of clean it out so that the canal was opened up. I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. And then they put it back in the back, and then put a little membrane on there. It's making my back hurt. Just thinking
about it. And of course, you don't listen. So like every time.
Yeah, I know.
And you didn't even wear your back brace today. Look. People go understand. They're going to be like, damn, she do look like shit pain. And then remember the episode when you was in pain and we went to TJ that night.
That night, yep.
Yeah, you don't even look half the way you do right now. and this is when you went to go get the stitches taken out.
Okay.
So now you're all done. And I think the stitches was 10 days later, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
So this is what the scar looks like. You know what I mean?
Yep. And now it doesn't look like anything like that. We should have taken a picture of what it looks like now.
It's a lot smoother.
Yeah. They did a good job. They sewed me up nice and tight.
and even going through that process, right? Like, you had to do a test and they was like, all right, how do you feel? Where's your pain level at now? We're going to take these stitches out. And you spent a whole month in Mexico.
Yes. And shout out to Mom Dukes, my mother-in-law. I love you to death. She spent the first week when I got out of surgery. Tommy had to go. He had a must-do event that he had to go to for the week. And Mom Dukes was with me the whole entire time. If anyone knows me, it's very hard for me to have someone take care of me, all like breakfast, lunch, dinner, wash dishes. I don't like that, I appreciate it. She was so patient. She was so loving. She was like, oh, do you want this? Oh, you don't like that? Fine, let's do this then. Yep. She was like, we're gonna go outside today and sit by the pool, and she was like, this is gonna be a wellness meditation, and like the whole entire week is gonna be a wellness week. So I really appreciate her. So shout out to Mom.
So my mother came out. For those that don't know what Mom Dukes, it's an East Coast thing. My mother, shout out to my mother. I really appreciate her. Your best friend came out.
Yeah,
for a few days.
Thank you. Yes, she sure did. Shauna, thank you. She drove to Mexico. She's like, I got to see your face. I just got to see your face. I love her for that. I appreciate you so much, girl. Came out and spent the weekend. Also, Mom Dukes had been with me the whole time, so it's like, go, take her out and go enjoy. So she wasn't stuck in the house. She got to enjoy Mexico a little bit. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you had people checking on you all the time, and then we got friends in Mexico that checked on you.
Yeah,
shout out to Jason and Anna.
Yes, that was very, very cool. They're like, hey, how you doing? Want to make sure you're good. Do you need anything? Is Mom Dukes good? Like, yes, we're good. So thank you guys. Thank you.
And then all the positive vibes that came with it. Like, again, this was one of the. I mean, we're making light of it today because that's everything when you come over the rainbow, right?
Yeah,
but it was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through as a man.
Baby.
And like even like my parents has never been through surgery, so it's like I've never had to deal with that. But to have to drive my wife in and then be there going under the knife. And, you never know what happens.
Yeah,
right?
True. It's
and
true.
One of the things, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I had in this whole experience was that everything that we ever argue about or everything that we've ever been through, none of that shit mattered at this moment, right? So it was at this moment where I was like, fuck an argument. Fuck not making the bed or not picking up something or you doing so, like whatever the case may be, whatever big thing that made me want to lash out or feel or pout, right? At the end of the day, was I pout because of something that you did. None of that shit mattered at this point because you never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
And unfortunately, it takes situations like this, like life-turning situations that make you realize shit like that. But
puts it in perspective, right?
Exactly.
Shit.
But I'm hoping that, the people that's listening to us, like, kind of think about things like that. Like, you never know what will happen to that person that you're with any single day. Like,
that's so true.
It could be a diagnosis. It could be a car accident. It could be whatever it is. That shit is not as important. Whatever it is that you're going through is not as important as the removal of that person that you say that you love.
That is very true.
And at the end of the day, I am so thankful and honored that you overcame.
Thank you,
and I'm super excited for you to get back to 1,000% health.
So excited to do that too.
I hope you're patient with it, right?
Yes, I'm learning.
But the journey, I'm just walking with you in that journey, and looking and seeing your strength is so admirable.
Thank you.
And
baby.
I love you. I love you in that, and it's one of the reasons why I love you so much is because you don't like being the one that's weak and on the side and being taken care of, but allow people to do that shit. Thank you,
baby. Thank you. I will try. I won't say anything after that. It's life and shit.
That's life and shit.
Love you, baby.
Love you. Do us a favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Leave a review. Let us know what your thoughts are. That's the only way that this show is going to be successful. And we appreciate you. Talk with you next time.